Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday, December 11th, and welcome to episode 103 of the Light the W podcast. We don't normally record Thursdays, but special guest Jeff is here. Winter meetings just ended yesterday. And Jeff, we've got some news around Alex Bregman, Jorge Polanco, Brendan Donovan, Ketel Marte. Let's start with Alex Bregman because I think that's the least realistic of the four. And there was a report out of the Seattle Times that Scott Boras is going to the Mariners, that there's some interest on Bregman's side of a deal with the Mariners.
What a wild development that I was not ready for on a Wednesday night. I can't believe we're going to start off this hot, this early. Sports give us things to believe in and things that we care about that aren't real. They are to you and me, and they are to a lot of people, but it's because the consequences are smaller. And then a team comes along like that 17 Astros team that I will never forgive, ever. And Bregman was a huge part of that. And would Bregman make the Mariners way better? Yes. But when you're a part of a team that I've hated to my core for 8 years, 9 years, and all I wanted to do was beat them, and we finally did, and now Bregman's agent is coming to our door to get us to raise prices for other teams or sign with us, I can't handle it.
So you have no interest if Bregman legit...
Negative. No.
Okay.
Is he playing for free?
Okay. What if I were to tell you the Mariners get Alex Bregman on what is somewhat of a reasonable deal? He plays third base for the next 3-4 years, whatever it is.
What is that to you? Like, because he's a $200 million player, right? Like, how old is he?
I'm thinking that he's making somewhere around what Alonso and Schwarber are making a year.
He's better than both of them.
Yeah, but I don't think he's getting that.
Eh.
I think he's getting somewhere in the 30 to 35 range. I do think he'll make slightly more, but not anything crazy. And this guy is 31 years old.
So we pay him 5 years, $150 million, the Schwarber deal, the Alonso deal. I have to pretend that I'm not mad at him for 5 years. He plays a great third base, blocking Colt Emerson.
Okay, let me get to the next piece of it, though. Let's say, so the Mariners seem to want Colt Emerson on the opening day roster, right?
Yeah.
You go sign a third baseman, which I don't think they're going to do. I don't think it's going to be Bregman. I think this is, from either side, a use of leverage. I think it could be from the Mariners side, too. But let's say they sign Alex Bregman, and then they go out and they trade J.P. Crawford. What are your thoughts then?
Why?
Because J.P. Crawford is terrible defensively. like...
Man. Well, okay. You just sprung two things on me. Can you talk really quick about the Mariners' leverage in that scenario? Because I'd like to hear more about your thoughts on that.
Okay. Where that's coming from for me is we've heard over the past couple of days that Jorge Polanco wants 3 and even 4 years, right? 4 years is a non-starter for the Mariners. To me, it sounds like the Pirates have a 3-year deal on the table. The Mariners have a 2-year deal on the table. He seems to want to come back to Seattle, a place where he knows he's comfortable, where he wants to win. But he wants to do it on a 3-year deal. But the Mariners don't want to give that. I think that the Mariners are utilizing this as a way to be like, we have other options in free agency if you choose not to come here, or that we could choose to go with if you wait too long to make your decision on whether or not to come here. And I'm saying that because it's coming from Adam Jude in the Seattle Times.
Yeah.
Instead of a national beat writer like the John Morosi's or the Ken Rosenthal's.
Yeah. And you got to take those guys with a grain of salt nowadays for some reason.
Exactly.
How is Passan doing it where what he says is like, we trust it, and then there's other guys where I'm like, who told you that? Why did the agent tell you that, and why are you reporting it? Morosi's the king of that, by the way.
Morosi's terrible. Was
It's
that
not
him
good.
yesterday that talked about Emerson Hancock and plus for Ketel Marte? Did you see that?
No, that sounds great. Call
On
it in.
MLB Network, he was talking about Colt Emerson. He was going on this whole tangent of how great Colt Emerson was, and then he's like, "But the Mariners won't do Emerson Hancock plus for Ketel Marte.
Colt Emerson will be our starting shortstop in 2027.
If there's a year.
Stop. That's not happening, by the way. We can't have 17 half conversations. The 2027 lockout would be one of the worst things to happen to baseball since the last lockout in 1994.
Yeah.
We got passing
Robert
bomb.
Suarez to the Atlanta Braves, 3 years, 45. Blue Jays screwed on the closer market, by the way.
I really thought the Mets were going to get Bob. That's really interesting that he went to a division rival.
So who's left?
It's not much, man.
Fairbanks?
I don't want to pay a reliever 23 mil a year, 15 mil a year. But is that just because I'm a spoiled Seattle fan that's watched good pitching for a long time?
Yeah, I think so. I was listening to someone was talking about Munoz and how when his deal's over, he's just not even gonna it's not gonna be an option, which is interesting because he's on such a team-friendly deal. I think he's making like $7
million a year this year. Yeah.
Yeah, $7 million a year. And it's all team options. But when he gets on the market, he's easily a 15, 20 million guy.
Well, that's why the Ferrer deal had to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Just in case.
I agree.
You briefly mentioned our infield defense. On the last show, you talked about our outfield defense, which, by the way, I think I could beat Canzone in a race. I want to throw that out there. I think I could do it. During the season, you and I are obsessed with the Mariners. We watch the Mariners. We listen to the radio. We're following this all the time. At no point did I ever think to myself, man, Randy is a below average outfielder. And I understand the my eye test versus the stats. But what was he, like negative 0.1? He's basically an average outfield defender. Canzone's bad.
The one that surprised me more was Robles being bad. But
he has no arm.
Rosarena, yeah, neither of them did. Rosarena to me just takes bad routes. And a lot of it's made up for because of Julio. And a lot of my point there is if you add another defensive wizard in right field like Steven Kwan, right, then Julio doesn't have to play that right center gap quite as hard. And that's going to make up more for even a Rosarena's errors. But you think about it in the playoffs, how many errors did he make just on routes?
The fans that always talk for, like, should we get Luis Robert Jr. from the White Sox? Should we get Byron Buxton? I love Buxton, by the way. But having two elite outfielders, and we have the best center fielder in baseball, one of the best ones in decades. Maybe that center fielder that played for the Jays and Rays, the white guy. What was that guy's name?
Kiermaier?
Yeah, that dude was unreal, but he couldn't hit at all. But Julio might be the best since then. And I'm like, it just gives you a luxury where you don't have to worry about that stuff. Would I like Steven Kwan on this team? Yeah, sign me up. However, I don't think the outfield defense is the number one priority.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's my main point. I do think that infield defense is a bigger issue. I just think that when you look at the team defensively as a whole, there are issues. And thinking back to the playoffs, the postseason, you think about Canzone's arm, Robles' arm in right field. There were multiple plays at the plate, even potentially in Game 7 of the CS. I don't remember exactly because I blocked that game out of my memory. But, how many throws up the third base line did you see? And those two guys have good arm strength. They just have negative accuracy.
They sent Alejandro Kirk in Game 5.
Yeah.
That's all you need to see. But is J.P. Crawford a good defensive shortstop? No, I am not arguing that. I don't understand the black hole, like what they're talking about when they're saying like he's bad. Can you expand on that?
It's his range.
It's his range.
Let me pull up his Savant.
Because when Polanco played third, we felt that.
Yes,
that was
our
team
range.
Felt it.
That was the range. J.P. Crawford's range to his right is bad, really bad. And that's why having a defensive third baseman that can range to their left is good. So for reference, J.P. Crawford outs above average, which is range, -13. Percentiles wise, that's first percentile.
Okay. That's you and
Arm
me out
strength
there. Got
wise,
it.
he's the 20th percentile in arm strength. So he also doesn't have a good arm. That means no chance of third base in his future. He has decent hands, but his hands have also fallen off just due to the eye test for me over the past few years.
I thought that J.P. Crawford's natural transition point was going to be to second base in this organization. But now that Cole Young is there, I just don't see that happening.
Yeah.
Who's the other infielder that's not Colt Emerson? Is it Michael Arroyo?
Arroyo is the closest one.
Who's the
Felding
closest one?
Celestin is.
Did you see that he's
like,
playing left
Halo.
field in the offseason down in Venezuela? They're asking him to play left field.
Yeah, which
Oh,
makes
that was
sense.
interesting.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
J.P. Crawford's range, looking at it a little bit more, just looking at it specifically in different spots, ranging towards his right, towards third base, outs above average is -5. In 2023, it was -10 to that side. So he's bad to that side, but he's also
He won that
worse
fake
every
Gold
way.
Glove award in the 60-game season, and that has been delivering a shortstop.
Yeah, well, if you want to look at his range since then, like he was good that year, don't get me wrong. To his right, he was positive in terms of outs above average.
Okay.
Outs above average 3, he's gone -4, -3, -10, 0, -5 since then.
I have no problem with JP playing short this year. There's no way he's playing short beyond this year. We need Colt to be ready. Bobby Witt played third base for his first year with the Kansas City Royals. I just see that as like a really clear defensive trajectory for Emerson.
What I do wonder, though, is how does that affect his bat, playing a position he hasn't played that much? Because in the minors, I don't have the exact stats, but he hasn't played a ton of innings at third base. He's been the shortstop for them.
Yeah. Yeah, Julio just got to be the center fielder from day one.
Exactly.
There's no question. He didn't have to worry about it. He wasn't switching between left and right. Of our pitcher, though, the pitching staff, we're not relying on ground balls. I wish we would a little bit more. A T-Mobile, go get those guys. I don't want to trade anybody or anything like that. Yeah, it's really interesting.
I'll ask, though, the Mariners have a lot of guys that throw sinkers, right? George Kirby throws a sinker. Brian Wu throws a ton of sinkers.
Yeah.
Bryce Miller throws a sinker. What I wonder is if they would throw more sinkers if the infield defense was better. Like, you think about all these guys, they all have sinkers, they all have good sinkers, but they don't throw it as much as some would like, especially Kirby, who just kind of gets hit around.
You know, they'd quantify that 97 mile an hour sinker he has as a sinker. I've been watching baseball a long time. It's just a fastball that moves. It's the equivalent of a two-seamer. And that thing, when he misses, it's up.
Mm-hmm.
It's either a strikeout or a pop fly or a home run if you're Kerry Carpenter. Okay. Oh, by the way, I was supposed to be on episode 101. I love the rebrand. I wanted to give credit for that on here. Light the W, a Brendan Donovan podcast is really cool. I'm really proud of you for doing that. It's a little late, 103. You know, I'm a few episodes in, but I just wanted to congratulate you and Brendan on your podcast. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll get Brendan over here soon.
So if Brendan or Bregman or whoever, if we sign a third baseman, you want Colt to play short tomorrow?
I don't know about tomorrow, but to me, it would put less emphasis on having him play and be on the opening day roster, like be starting at third base on the opening day roster, which I think partially is better for his development. But I also think that even just his glove is so much better than what Crawford's is that, like, I would DH Crawford a little bit. Like, let's say we sign Donovan and we're like, let's have him play third base.
Yep.
I'd be like, Crawford, you're going to DH some, you're going to play second some. Maybe you'll play shortstop in a pinch, but I'm having Emerson play shortstop day in, day out, assuming that he shows me his bat is there enough, which I think he already pretty much has.
Interesting. Okay. We'll see how that develops. I also think
you could be open to trading JP at that point, too. That would rock the locker room, especially if you signed Bregman, but
That is a hard pill to swallow.
I just think it makes the team so much better that it would be worth thinking about.
Okay.
Let's quickly move on, though. I just want to get gut feeling, percentage chance Jorge Polanco will be a Mariner in 2026.
70%.
Yeah, I agree.
It's high.
That's where I'm at, too. I think he'll end up coming here.
I think the other suitors, I genuinely believe he doesn't want to play for the Pirates.
Which, why would he? If it's a $3 million difference per year, if you're Jorge Polanco, would you rather play in Seattle on a winning team where you're comfortable, or the Pittsburgh Pirates who spend no money ever?
We are not making fun of Pirates fans or Pirates. We've been here. We know this world where you're like, Jorge Polanco could be the answer with Polsky, with Felix Hernandez. We were like, what if we get Milton Bradley and he fixes everything? That's a little early for Felix, but let's see. Let's get Russell Branyan. Oh, it was some dark times. Speaking of dark times, was the Josh Naylor deal worth it? I love coming in with hot news for you. You know, Josh Naylor signed a month ago. Alonso signed for $155 million yesterday. Money the Orioles chose not to spend on pitching, and I am pretty certain they don't have a pitcher. Can you name an Orioles pitcher right now?
Trevor Rogers?
I don't know.
Don't get me wrong. He's good, but that's not like even a 2, I don't think, in a rotation.
What about that closer that goes by King Felix that really bothers me? Because...
Oh, the Mountain?
Yeah, that guy.
Felix Bautista. He's hurt, though.
So the Orioles are choosing to just try really hard to win every game 11-9, I would assume, which sounds like a very stressful year. Josh Naylor signed for the same amount of years, 5 years, $92.5 million.
Yep.
Was that worth it? Now that we've had some time to think about it, how do we feel about that contract? You've already talked about this a number of times. I wanted to play a game with you. I asked you not to look this up. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
The last 10 years, since 2016, there have been 4 seasons where a Mariners first baseman has gotten a WAR of over 2 wins above replacement. Can you think of those players? Do you know those players and the years they did it? It's okay if you don't.
Since when? 2016?
Yeah, we'll do 10 years of Mariners baseball.
Is it full season in a Mariners uniform?
I did a minimum of 48 games, and I can explain why later.
Okay. Ty France in 21
Yeah, that's the easy
or
one.
22?
And Ty France in 2021 is our best first base season. Difference between me and Mahal. Mahal is addicted to Fangraphs. I like Baseball Reference. Ty France 4.2 WAR in 2021. That was before his All-Star season. 2022 Ty France WAR of 3. That was the year that A's player hit him in the elbow. But he was awesome before that. Those are our top 2 seasons of the last 10 years. There are 2 more above 2 WAR seasons. Can you name them? One of them is
2 more.
Genuinely hilarious.
Is like Ryan Healy on there?
No, Ryan Healy's not on the board. That is before 2016. Oh, no, he is on the board 2018. He did not eclipse 2 WAR, nor was his WAR positive.
My God. I'm trying to think of who was even at first base and like.
Okay.
Was Logan Morrison on there?
No, that's before. That was 2015. Yep, I cut it off at Lomo. Loved Lomo. Okay. In third place for the last 10 years is 54 games of Josh Naylor. And I'm not kidding.
How much did he get?
2.2 WAR in 54 games. The stolen bases really helped.
On Baseball Reference?
Mm-hmm.
You got B-WAR?
Yep.
Interesting.
And then 2019 Edwin Encarnacion, 2.1.
I almost said that one. I didn't think he had enough time in a Mariners uniform to get there.
So the players that I excluded that you could talk about, I did not include any Dylan Moore. It was too hard to figure out when he played what when.
Yeah.
And then 2020 Ty France, I didn't include. He played second base primarily, which is really hard to think about and remember. I didn't include any Abraham Toro because, again, he played every position.
Yeah.
2022, Carlos Santana played mostly DH for us, but did play some first. And then Mike Ford, I didn't include because he mostly DH'd in 2023. Okay, let's go rapid fire here. I want you to guess, was this a positive WAR player or a negative WAR player? 2016, Adam Lind.
I'll go slightly positive.
Negative. 2016, Daeho Lee.
Positive.
Positive. 0.3. Definition of a replacement player. 2017, Danny Valencia.
Negative.
Positive 1.2.
Really?
Yeah. 2018, Vogelbach.
That was not the All-Star season. No, it was. So positive.
It was. He was a positive 0.2 WAR player and an All-Star.
Wow.
Incredible. We were talking about Ryan Healy. 2019, Austin Nola, current pitching coach for the Mariners.
He was negative in 19, I think.
Positive.
Really?
1.3. He's high up on our rankings. This game is amazing. It's been so bad. 2020, Evan White, Gold Glove winner.
I think he's positive just for the glove.
0.
Okay.
Trick question.
Right.
2024, Justin Turner played 48 games, which is what I set the minimum as. He didn't play enough first base, but I included Justin Turner.
I'll go positive WAR. His bat was pretty good.
1.2. He was pretty good. Yeah. 24, Ty France.
That's gotta be negative.
Negative. 2025, Rowdy Tellez.
That's also gotta be negative.
It's negative. And my favorite, 2025 Solano, Donnie Barrels.
It's gotta be negative.
0.00.
Wow.
Unbelievable definition of a replacement player.
And he got replaced.
I love this game so much. I loved playing this with you.
We might need to do this with like second baseman since Robinson Cano left.
Oh, we'll just do this every time I come on. We'll just do the last 10 years of Mariners history and why you and I are such fans of this current team.
Yeah. I mean, this is the best roster.
Oh my gosh.
Who knows how long?
Of your lifetime? Maybe.
Easily my lifetime.
You and I were talking in February of this year, and I said that our window was open, and you said no. And I love that I'm the optimistic one between the two of us. It'll never not be funny to me.
Yeah. I've something about the past few years has made me like understand, ownership's like reluctancy in some ways to spend. Like I understand why. And it makes me just like negative.
Oh man. For those that don't know, we are just grinding through colds and flus here.
There we go.
We do this for the people. I have a longer thing to talk to you about ownership that I'm really excited to share with you. Let's do that next episode because I can tell you're itching too.
Yeah.
I have one more that I really want to talk about today.
Okay.
And that is, how dare you speak about Dominic Canzone the way you did last episode? I'm going to die on this hill. I think that Canzone is a legitimate option for this team to be good at baseball.
Okay.
I am in no way talking about his outfield defense. Please strike that from the record. Okay. In 2024, in his career, he had played about 64 games between the Diamondbacks and the Mariners. He had never gotten a hit or a walk or on base after 2 strikes. That had never happened before 2025. Shout out to Apple TV for that. Apple TV broadcasts, amazing, by the way.
They're great.
They're so great. And that got pointed out to me.
The commentators suck.
Just
for the record.
Yeah. Well,
Oh
you got
my
to flip it.
god.
You flip it to our radio broadcast. You can do that on the Apple
Yeah.
TV.
Isn't that only when it's at home though? Or is that always?
That's a great question that I'm not prepared for. Uh, Dominic Canzone against lefties was an abomination. Now, his splits are pretty good. You talked about that last episode. You did give him
Yeah.
that. His splits are good.
Yeah.
Our team has never had actual depth. Our team has never had actual options. Robles being the backup outfielder that plays sometimes sounds amazing. Canzone playing some right field and DHing, it sounds great to me. His walk rate is way up. He um, from June 8th to August 18th when he got hit in the wrist, 57 games, 817 OPS, 7 home runs, 9 doubles. Um, he was on base more than once per game on average. He got hurt. He went 11 games. He had 29 plate appearances where he did basically nothing. If you remove that, even with that, he had an OPS plus of 142, 1.6 WAR in 85 games. Good luck editing this episode as we die. Cal is not going to hit 60 home runs next year. I know. It's a crazy prediction. I think that Dominic Canzone can hit 20 to 25 home runs next year. I think we can get that kind of production from a lefty in the lineup that is going to just bolster our team. It's going to make our team feel not top heavy. But when at the end of the year, after that horrendous road trip that we all wanted to give up, from that point forward, it felt like our team just kept cycling through the lineup because guys at the bottom were moving forward, getting on base. If Canzone is our 7 or our 8 or our 6 even, I feel less good when he's our 5th hitter. We need one more. But if Canzone is in that lineup, I'm feeling good about our team.
Yeah. I think for me, I have not been as bullish on Canzone because partially what he did down the stretch, but also what he did in the postseason, which not a big enough sample size. But he also it was 82 games of him this season in the regular season. He was good. Don't get me wrong. You mentioned it. 142 OPS plus, 141 WRC plus, about a win and a half, 11 home runs, which would average to about 20 over the course of the whole season. To me, the question is how much does he fall off though? And part of this is Victor Robles in 2025 falling off a cliff compared to what he did in 2024. I talked about it very briefly last episode, but Victor Robles was also about a 140 WRC OPS plus guy in 2024. And then he fell off a cliff. Now, he got hurt. There were external reasons why. But part of it for me is I don't want to rely with my bottom half of my lineup on Dominic Canzone being anywhere close to what he was in 2025. Do I think he can do it? Yes. I just personally don't think he will. But that's just from a gut feeling. You look at all the stats, like the, barrel rate, whiff rate, all that type of stuff. He could easily do it. His Savant page is red and beautiful.
I do love the Savant page.
His Savant page is amazing. But his barrel rate went up 3%. His whiff rate went down 8% for him to be able to do what he did. And I wonder how, over a course of 162 games, is he going to be able to keep those where they were at 2025?
Let's call it 130.
Okay.
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 Yes.
If he plays
I would
130
take Steven
games,
Kwan. Yeah.
And if they acquire Jorge Polanco, that's the other piece for me. Polanco should just be a DH for you.
Yeah.
This guy is not a second baseman. It causes him to get hurt. He should be your DH. And if Canzone and Polanco are both on the roster, how do you split their time at DH?
It does seem like Polanco has the mental for DHing. DHing is so hard. You just sit there and wait. And Polanco really impressed me this year by being able to do it for long stretches. Remember that stretch where he couldn't hit righty?
Yeah.
And he just waited to hit lefty and stayed so sharp. for a guy that I was ready to DFA a year and a half ago, I was really impressed by Polanco. Do I want to give him $60 million or whatever? No. But I do hope he's on the squad. I do think he will be.
Yeah. How much would you give Polanco?
I think that agents want things to look good. Give him that 3 years, 50, so they can tweet that and report that, and pass in, and Morosi and those guys can say that. But make sure that third year is a team option, and make it so that it's not real money, like 13 to 15 mil a year for the first 2 years, and then a 20 million that no one's going to accept, but it looks good today or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could be interested in that. I think that, like you said, he's got to be on the roster. But to me, it's really interesting how he and Canzone and Robles and Young and all these players can coexist. And I mean, I'm not saying that they can't, but if it's a platoon type of thing of Canzone and Robles in right field, that defensive outfield seriously scares me.
Mm. Well, let's talk more about that in the pitching staff next time too. I think this is probably a good spot. We're rambling because we just love this team so much.
There's just so much to talk about right now.
Yeah, what would you 3 years 36 is what you said for Polanco?
I would do that, and I would do that without the option. With an option, I would give him 14 or 15 for the first couple of years.
Sure.
I would do 2 years 30 with a third year option of like 12.
Sure.
And it could be a
I would
mutual.
do those things. That 3 years 50 made me like not feel good.
That's
I was
insane.
like, I don't like it.
There's no way.
He's like way younger than he looks too. He looks like a 37-year-old man to me.
Yeah, and we've talked about it a little bit, but I mean, this is a guy that doesn't play a whole lot of games. This is a guy that gets hurt a lot, and he's coming off a career year where he stayed healthy for the majority of the season. But it's hard because we saw him in 2024 as well, where he was hurt, and then he was also just not good when he was healthy for the most part. It's hard to like feel comfortable giving him that 3-year deal because when he was hurt, he wasn't productive, even though he's been productive for the most part, even when hurt.
It's gonna be so great when we post this episode and he signs 8 minutes after.
I would love that.
We'll hop back on.
That. I have a free day. I'll hop back on.
Perfect.
2-episode day for Jorge Polanco. I do hope though, if they do sign Polanco, it doesn't take them out of the Donovan sweepstakes. I hope that they like stay.
No, that would really impact the podcast negatively.
Yeah, it would. I need Donovan in a Mariners uniform.
I wish we were trading with any other
WRC
organization.
plus.
What an annoying organization. Shame on the Cardinals.
Well, yeah. Did you see that the way they're doing it too? They're like sending out offers to other teams as if they're trying to acquire the prospects and stuff.
The Jerry won Executive of the Year yesterday.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything he's done. So he traded Seawald and Gino within 6 months. I would consider that the low point of Jerry's tenure, where it didn't feel right. It cost us a playoff spot, in my opinion, in 23. It killed the vibes of the team when you trade Gino unexpectedly. Since then, literally everything Jerry has done, I've been like, oh, that's pretty good. And then to look at what the Cardinals are doing. Are the Cardinals a contender? No. Are they bad? No. What are they? What is their identity? Are they good at pitching? Not really. Are they good at hitting? Not really. That doesn't sound fun at all.
They are the Mariners of
Stop.
20 years where you're mediocre, not making a playoff spot.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing where you have to just take a step back and reset.
The Mariners,
you can't
remember
just be mediocre.
We went like 6 years without winning or losing 90 games or something like that. It's the worst stretch.
It was more than that.
It was awful. It like hurt my heart all the time. But now we're having fun.
We are. It's fun to talk about this team.
Let's do it again.
Best roster we've had. We'll be back probably a couple weeks. It'll be interesting to see how we do it around Christmas, but holiday break.
Are you going to catch any Hawks games while you're here?
I don't have tickets to. They're expensive right now. I was looking at the Colts game with Phillip Rivers at QB. I was hoping they might drop.
You don't want to go to a crime scene? That's weird. You don't want to see it.
I really hope he doesn't start on Sunday.
What if he dies? Like for real?
he will get obliterated. Like, Nick Eman-Wari and Devin Witherspoon off the edge will be scary.
I know this isn't a Seahawks podcast. Their defense, though, is so fun. And to think
It's
of
really
Phillip
good.
Rivers going in, he was not going to play Sunday. There's no way.
There's no way. I compared it to, like, Brett Favre playing against, like, the 2012 Hawks, which, like, not the same defense by no means, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I compared that to my friends, and I was like, this cannot happen. This guy will get killed.
It's a bad idea.
It's a really bad idea. We'll see. Right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been episode 103 of the Light the W podcast. It was Jeff's first appearance on the Light the W portion, second overall, but first of what should become pretty consistent here every couple weeks, at least during the off season. Maybe we'll get more consistent more often during the regular season, but a few months away from spring training, a couple weeks away from Christmas. Hopefully the Mariners can get a deal or two done in these next couple of weeks, have something to talk about, and we can see what this roster is really going to shape up like for spring training. But till then, this has been episode 103. Thank you guys so much for listening. Follow on all socials at Light the W Pod. Till next time, thank you everybody for listening. Go Emps!
Go Emps, sound the horn!